Welcome back to the Queer Sister podcast. My name is Jasmine, and my pronouns are she, her.
And I'm Natasha, and my pronouns are she and her.
And today we mentioned that we wanted to talk about K-pop and why so many queer women are interested in K-pop. Natasha, do you want to explain that? Like, why is that a connection?
Well, I had that question because I was like, okay, so it's been over a year since I've been into K-pop. Which is wild. This year went by really quick. But I just like when you are in the like community or whatever you want to say, a K-pop fan or whatever, you notice, and I don't know, maybe it's the circles you hang out with or the groups that you listen to or whatever, a lot of them are queer. A lot of the fans, not the people, but a lot of the fans are like queer. And I was like, why is like, and gay men are into it as well. I'm not saying they're not, but why, obviously, specifically for me, why are queer women like gravitating to K-pop? Like, what is it? So I was doing some research because I was like, you know what I mean? Like, why do you think? Let me ask that. Why do you think queer women, or like, yeah, just queer people are gravitating to K-pop?
So you mentioned it before, well, I've noticed on Twitter that I had a lot of queer women who identified as bisexual into a lot of the male K-pop.
Oh, so
I
you have friends or just like neutrals on Twitter that are K-pop fans?
both mutuals and people that I know in real life who were interested in
Only in the boys?
like the
I'm trying to
boy
meet some
groups.
in real life friends because I don't stand boy groups. Like, you're not gonna see me stand.
Why?
Um, what do I need to stand a group of guys dancing for?
For, I don't know, entertainment. I don't know.
I don't need to. Okay, listen. The idea of being a fan of someone, maybe okay. There's like a level liking someone's music. Like I can like um Billie Eilish's music,
Mhm.
but I don't have to be a fan of her. But I can like her music.
Okay.
But also you can like be a fan of them, but be a stan of them. You know, a stan is like you know what they're doing, what's going on. Like you're the first one to like get the information. Like they're releasing an album. You know, there's people that I like that I don't know they release music until I see on my Spotify recommendations because I listen to their music. But I don't follow them on Instagram, follow them on Twitter, or like I don't know if they're doing shows. I don't know if they, there's people who I really like your music and I'm like, where have they been at? What's his name? Um um boy who did the song with Santana. What's his name? What's his
Oh.
name?
Oh man.
Oh, come
Uh
on, y'all. He was
damn.
in
So now everybody get down. What is that song?
is that the song he sang?
That's one of them, isn't it?
Yo, I swear, my pop culture references are like thrown off lately. What's his dang name? And I love him. Rob Thomas.
There
Rob
we
Thomas, because
go.
he was in what's that group he was in the 90s? Why can I not think of
Hold on.
anything?
No,
Oh
we're
my
we're
gosh,
gonna we're
y'all.
gonna
Um,
we're gonna
what?
can you get it before I
No, look
find
it
it?
up. Rob Thomas. He's in
It was
Matt.
Matchbox
What?
20. Matchbox
Matchbox. I
20.
almost said Smash Mouth. Matchbox
No,
20. See, I knew
not
there was
that
some sort of number in there,
one.
but I couldn't think of it. Anyways, but Rob Thomas. I like Rob Thomas's music, but I was like, all of a sudden, I was like, where's that man been at? Has he had music? Like, I don't follow him. I can't say I'm a Rob Thomas stan, but you put on a Rob Thomas hit, I'm like, ooh, I love his music. You know what I'm saying? But also, I couldn't tell you all his music. But so there's like a level. I choose to not even listen to boy K-pop. Like, go back to I choose to not even listen
Okay.
to like guy K-pop music because I'm just I'm not interested. And a lot of it, this is gonna be really controversial. Honestly, I don't care because I was trying to like I want fans to like who are K-pop fans to be interested in this thing. But I'm gonna make a very controversial thing. A lot of these, I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of these boy groups make a lot of like noise music where it's just a lot of just beats. It's just a producer putting around a lot of stuff. They don't care about the lyrics, and it's mostly them dancing to a good beat. It could be a good beat with a lot of extra, bells and whistles, but I think boy groups focus on their dance and their performance. Their song could be absolute trash. And like the lyrics make no sense, but they have fans that maybe they have good voices. I don't know. I don't listen to their groups, but it's the performances. It's the performance. They like want to see them dance and whatever. I care about lyrics and meaning. So I don't care about noise music. And I'm not saying all boy groups. I know they're gonna be upset. All boy groups make noise music because there's a lot of girl groups who do the same, and I don't listen to them. You know what I'm saying? I don't even want to say now. I don't even want to say who I stand because then they're gonna drag them. But my favorite group is G Idol or Idol,
Mhm.
and the person who writes it, it's like she's very poetic with her lyrics. If the type of music outside of K-pop that I listen to is um like sad acoustic, like I don't know, not even like a bedroom pop, but like you know what I mean? Like it's like in your feelings type of music, like really sad. Like I
Mhm.
want to be emotional when I listen to stuff. And yes, I like a upbeat, but not all the time. But I need them to make sense. I need the lyrics to make sense. You know what I'm saying? I need a concept. I need to
So can't you argue that there are some boy bands out
yeah, there's
there
some.
whose music are, intentional, and their lyrics are intentional?
I don't listen to boy groups, so I couldn't tell you if there are. Just the ones that I'm exposed to is like that. And so I choose to not, but also like who do I look like standing some men? Anyways,
So I think that's
fangirls.
probably the
Huh? You said
majority
it's
of it.
problematic? Is that what you said?
I said, no, no, no. I said that's probably the majority of the reason
No,
why.
yeah, that's the majority. Yeah, it's 100% the reason why. I'm not standing a man. If they're a soloist and they sing, like I like the like Korean R&B singers. They're like I
Mhm.
like to listen to them, like a Dean or a Crush or a um who else is out there? I don't know. I just Sam Kim, like those type of people. They sing like
Mhm.
R&B stuff. I'll listen to that, but I don't stand them. I couldn't tell you all their songs, but I like their songs. You know what I'm saying? There's some of the stuff I've played for you in the car. That's
Okay.
them, like a Korean R&B type vibe. But anyways, so you said that I really interrupted you. You said that queer women,
So I've noticed a trend that queer women who identify as bisexual or pansexual tend to also include the standing of male K-pop members, but queer women who identify as women who only date other women tend to just stand.
but I don't think that's true either. I know there's a lot of lesbians out there that stand a lot of male groups. They like BTS and whatever. Like
Okay,
it's like one
so
of those exceptions. You're completely lesbian, but you like stand these men. Like I feel like that was like in the category of all the lesbians liking Justin Bieber. Like it was like
okay.
this exception. But also I was like looking into it, and in South Korea, where there are in K-pop, it's a little bit more. Well, not just South Korea. In K-pop, let me say that. In K-pop, it's a little bit more acceptable to be like gender fluid, like boys to be like gender fluid, not like super feminine, but like gender fluid and express their gender expression to be fluid. That's more I meant.
Mhm.
Gender expression to be fluid. So like wearing certain makeups and different hair. Like we don't really see a lot of guys here. I think now they're starting to dye their hair, but like, pinks and purples and oranges and like just their expression of their gender is a lot more feminine. Um
Mhm.
and like what we would consider maybe here more like in the queer spectrum. I'm not saying they're queer, but like in a more flamboyant way is what I'm saying. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying if they dye their hair they're queer. That's not what I'm saying. But like their idea of masculinity in K-pop, not in society of South Korea. That's totally different. But in K-pop is a
Yeah.
little bit more fluid. And I think that it is like attractive to queer people that
Mhm.
in their own country like to express their gender a certain way. And so I think that it's easier for lesbians or queer women to like stand boy groups because there's that fluidity of it. But also, I think a big part of it is how the K-pop industry really really like is wrapped around queer baiting. And
Okay.
so what I was like, so basically, if you don't know K-pop, the biggest thing how K-pop is successful is based on fandom, is based on their fans. If they didn't have the core fans and the dedication of their fans, they wouldn't be as successful like they are. Because, like I said, there's a lot of artists that I listen to, but I couldn't tell you when they release music or whatever. But if you are in a fandom, you know you are dedicated. You buy their albums, you buy their merch, you buy their, like that kind of stuff. And that's how they make their money, off of the fan. Like
Mhm.
K-pop is based off the fandom. In that fandom, in that culture, there's a lot of
Well, hold up. Why is that different than the traditional artists, traditional mainstream artists like in the West? Like, why is it that people fan, or fan people uh, so much harder for K-pop than
because, like I said, the
somebody?
whole industry is based on it. Like okay, K-pop, you have a fandom name, you have a light stick, you have fandom colors, you have like um sites that where you can message your K-pop idol that
Mhm.
like, and when I say idol, that's what they're called. Each individual person in the group is an idol. I'm not saying you put them on a pedestal idol, but that's what they're called.
Mhm.
Because that's the nature of K-pop, is that they're these idols on this like pedestal pretty much, that you are fans of or whatever. But like imagine, yes, like a Justin Bieber and Ariana Grande have a fandom name or whatever, or like Taylor Swift have, Swifties. And one thing about Taylor Swift, her fans rock with her. You know what I mean? But it's
Mhm.
different that like they have a name, but they don't have a glow stick that you go and you don't have like a fan club event where you go and you pay money to go and do like a little like Skype with your favorite artist, and you don't have photo cards and stickers and
Mhm.
posters in every album. It's K-pop is dedicated to that. Like that's why it's based around fandom. It's to a whole nother level than what Western artists do. Like imagine like buying an album and getting a photo card of like Beyonce. Beyonce's fans would love it. They would flip out. But I'm just saying, it's not like you might get a poster and an album. Most of the time, you just go to the Target or you go to the Walmart or whatever, and you buy an album.
Mhm.
And maybe if it's a deluxe version, you get a poster or whatever. Or back in the day, you get posters and stuff like that. But everything you get is you get a photo card. And because and they show you how many photo cards, and it's random. That's how they get you. It's random.
Mhm.
It's like you think you put a toy in a cereal box. It's random. So you want all of them. So, but so you go and people go and trade them online. They're selling. They're doing like it's a huge thing. And so this fandom is this community. So if you're part of, so like I like G Idol and their fandom name is Neverland. And so they have like this whole, so if you're a fan, like a stan of them, you're a Neverland, and
Mhm.
you have like fan clubs and whatever. And I don't know where I was going with this, but like, um, it's like you're part of this community. So I know that another, another Neverland is likes the same music and likes the same people, and you kind of bond over it. It's like this little community of like, and minorities love that knit of community, and I think that is what queer people like to like gravitate to, a
Mhm.
small community. Like it's like a little family. Like I know that if I find something out about G Idol, I'm about to go on Twitter and see what's going on. You know what I mean? I'm gonna like,
Mhm.
I found out this morning one of them on a plane right now. And everybody's freaking out. It's just like how Twitter is. It's like nothing but jokes, but
Mhm.
then there's some toxicity of it. Of like when you're in a fandom, people feel like you can't be a fan of somebody else. Like you can
Mhm.
like it's a pick or choose, and I hate that because I'm a fan of other groups. I have an alt group, yeah. G is my alt group, but I like Blackpink. I like Twice. I'm gonna put this out there. I like Twice. I like Itzy, some Itzy songs. I like them as people. I think they're really fun. Like sometimes I just like to watch their like their lives or whatever. Um, who else I like?
I don't know what's out there.
I like a little bit of Espa, but I'm kind of stepping back. If y'all know what happened with Espa, I'm kind of stepping back with that one. Um, who else out there?
But I did want to say that I really like that you made the comparison between K-pop, the community, and like queer people seeking out community and like or minorities in general, just trying to like find that connection and yeah, recognizing that similarity. Like I do see that as
And like I
being,
said, I didn't even
super
finish it. That they also queerbait the hell out of their groups.
yeah. So, I mean, and that's kind of what queer cinema and entertainment is doing, even till today. Maybe not as bad as it used to,
But I don't
but
even think it's
um,
bad. I think there's some points that are bad to it. But I think the pros of the queer baiting of it is that because there's, like I said, a little bit of the gender fluidity and stuff like that, but there's like big part of K-pop culture is shipping. And I know that there's like a line of like what's appropriate in shipping. If you don't know what shipping is putting two people, or like if it's a fake thing, two characters together. And people say don't ship people in real life, but K-pop is
mhm,
heavily like wrapped around shipping, and the companies
rooted
know,
in that.
the groups know, like putting two people together. And in these groups, they're all female groups or all male groups, so if you're shipping people in a group, it's going to be a same sex, couple.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that these people are dating each other or not, but it's a big thing that this fandom will ship somebody. Like they're really big in like skinship in Korea, where like they're not afraid to a man and a man to hold hands if like they're friends. And that's different, I think, from a lot of different other cultures. So that skinship, like it has like, to them it might have a queer undertone, or whatever it is. And so there's a lot of that. And I think that companies tell certain groups, I'm not saying all groups like this, but certain groups, to play up on that queer baiting. And what that would be called is fan service, is they know their fans want it, and so they're going to be extra queer and extra gay on stage. And so when I see it on stage, or like some extra stuff, that's when I know it's fan service. And I think that a lot of people can't
Mhm.
separate the two, of like, this person's just queer and this, because you can't tell me that all those idols are straight. All of them are
Yeah.
straight. No. There's a lot of them in the
Mhm.
closet because, they're not accepting of queer people. But like that's what's problematic of it, is you can queer bait and you could fan service queer relationships, but then you're going to be homophobic about it. So like,
Yeah, it's not
but it's kind of hard because you kind of have to separate the K-pop industry and South Korea's politics. But they're still under South Korea politics, so none of them are going to come out. Like there's one guy that I know that's out, and he's a soloist, and he has to crowd fund to make money because he doesn't have a big label. It's his own company, like it's his own label. And he put out a video. His name is Holland. You want to look it up. He put out a video, and because he kissed the guy in the video, they rated it 19 plus, which is 18 plus for us, but
yeah.
international age, but 19 plus for them, because he kissed the guy. But like they've done way more than that in other videos, and it's not, whatever. So like, and he's unapologetic, like, and he'll make his queer music, and he always has like a kiss or some sort of queer love in it. Yes,
Representation, yeah.
but it's sad that
Mhm.
that's like the only one that's out and actively going right now, and he's not huge. People just know him because, like I said, like this is like kind of queer community, and so people just know like that he's the only out one out there. But there's a lot of people who just like, you can't tell me they're straight, but
Mhm.
you can't put a sexuality on somebody. And I think that's where it kind of gets wrong when you have straight K-pop fans. Um, when that queer baiting then in their heads turns into fetishization of people, of like, oh yeah,
Mhm.
these people are together, and like crossing the line and like going into their lives and saying like, saying things to them like, you and this person, there's that line that crosses. And I think that K-pop fans sometimes can cross the lines a lot. Um,
So, do you think that line crossing, or just, the community in general, like, where do you see that going with how everybody's acting right now? Like, do you see, more acceptance of, queer individuals, like, in all of, South Korea because of what's going on in K-pop right now, or, or eventually like letting it slide a little bit more in the public eye in entertainment? Because I know that's a lot of the reason how things start changing in society.
yeah, I think it's slowly opening up, and I think that um a little bit more acceptance, but also I can't tell you what like Korean society and thinks. Like I know, not all, but it's very, very homophobic there. Like they have no rights there. Like they can't marry there and stuff like that. And so, like you can only do so much because it's like they can't really. Like I understand that like you need to change it socially before you can change it politically. But those first people who come out in those groups will be ostracized. They will be kicked out of groups. They will be kicked out of companies. So like at that point, it's like they need to. There's going to be those first, that has to happen. And I don't really know. I think that it also goes two and two that like K-pop is being more global now. That
Mhm.
they're going to America and they're going here and they're going here and all these different things. And I think that they can be more open outside of their own country, um, a little bit more because it's a little bit more accepting other places. Obviously, there's places that they go to it's even less accepting. But like, I think that the more that the outside world, not just America, but like the outside world of outside of Korea is accepting of K-pop and like takes it seriously, because I think that a lot of people in America don't take it seriously yet. But once they start taking it seriously, I think then maybe people's eyes will open. But right now, because a lot of companies like force some of their members, to queerbait and fan service, it's not like a genuine like queerness. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Mhm.
Um, like there's a difference though. Like there's some people that you could like I feel like maybe they don't like it, but there's some people who I think just do it because they know their fans like it. There's a
Yeah.
group, I don't know, should I name names?
I don't know.
There's this group, okay, I don't listen to their music. Um they could sing though. Dreamcatcher, this group called Dreamcatcher. Every time, I think I've sent you a video of them. Every time I see them, there's a lot of gayness going on. And the fans and the gays eat it up, eat it up. And I used to like listen. I saw a few clips and I was kind of eating it up too. But then you like look at it and you're like, they're only really doing this. They're doing it on live. They're doing it on stage. They're doing it on this, and those are the moments when you know that it's just baiting. But it's
Mhm.
up to your preference of what you think is fine. Like if you're fine with being baited, there's certain people I'm fine with being baited. I know you straight as hell, but if you're gonna do something like bait me, I don't care. Like as long as it's not like the only queer baiting I don't like is that like when you're like gonna like in shows that you're gonna tease that this is gonna happen and then you
Yeah.
kill them off, or you tease this is gonna happen and then all of a sudden you just don't talk about it anymore. If this is an ongoing, you show me some gay things and that's queer baiting, I'll eat that up. I'll eat it up. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not mad about that.
So stay consistent with your
But
queer
like it doesn't have to be
baiting.
like, oh, every day they do something. Not like that. But I'm just saying that's like, you know what I mean? Like
No, I get it.
it's just
Yeah.
that like, oh, you're just flirty today and you want to flirt with your member. Like I'm not mad at that. Give me some fan service. I think there's a difference of like maybe queer baiting and fan service. I'm fine with fan service.
Okay.
Um, if both parties involved are fine with it. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. I don't want the
Mhm.
company to force these people to do these things. But you can tell when somebody just wants to, give fan service. But I'm always weary of like when they do it on stage. When they do it on
Mhm.
like in a concert, do it on stage. To me, I'm like, I like the moments where they just like they're like on camera, but like and they do something like that. That's the stuff I eat up. I really don't want to tell them my ships, the people I ship. I really get into it. No,
We don't have to.
you're like, please don't. I'll just say this: if you're a Twice fan, then maybe you can guess who my low key ship, but it's like literally one of the top favorite ships in that group. I just want
Yeah.
people who like K-pop to like talk to me in real life.
So anybody out there into K-pop, this is the invitation to contact
They're
my
gonna be
sister.
mad at me because I was talking about boy groups noise music, and I didn't say BTS. I didn't say BTS makes noise music, which I don't know I don't know their songs. I only know Fake Love, and then the English songs that they came out with,
Hmm.
and the one with Halsey. That's the only songs I know.
Yeah,
And the only
very
reason why I know
similar.
Fake Love was because G Idol did that cover. Fake Love, Fake Love. I want to
I
be
don't
your
even.
girl. That's what it was. I like that song. Love for you. So I'm not armies, don't come at me.
Oh man, yeah, I'm afraid of that. I don't want that happening.
Anyways, listen to G Idol. They're gonna have a comeback soon. Um, yeah. And vote. Oh, this is gonna be out after.
No, do it, do it. I
No, the
mean,
the uh,
let's see
the the
how.
awards are gonna happen. I was gonna say vote for them
Okay.
for a mama award, but we're probably gonna have this after.
Oh,
But anyways, listen to
sorry.
him. Yeah, and if you're gay, obviously, if you're watching this, the first song that I listened to of theirs is "Oh My God," and it's called "Oh My God," and it's about the way we describe it is lesbian sex in hell. I showed you the video because he's talking about she took me to the
Oh,
sky.
oh,
She
yeah,
has she
yeah,
pronouns. She wrote this is a woman wrote this with she pronouns. She her pronouns. That's how I got introduced into the group. So listen to that. That's my little tidbit. Oh my god. And they have an English version. Look at the lyrics. That's even gayer than the Korean version.
yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, thank you for for listening to the Queer Sister podcast. My name is
And
Jasmine,
I'm
and
Natasha. Sorry about that rant, y'all. It's been a
no,
year.
we enjoyed it. We loved it.
Anyways,
All
bye.
right. Bye.